I was waiting for the dog to bark again. I guess not. I think I caught it like right at the beginning of the recording. Anyway, there it was. Hi everybody, Fandom Flux.
Hi.
Yeah. Episode 203.
One more than last time.
So, hi, I'm Casey. Yeah. Okay. I have things to talk about. It's weird. So we have Kenchi.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618, and apparently my new thing for being this age is that I have to be drunk to watch most movies in theaters.
It's not a great policy.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Okay. I'm assuming that Kenchi saw the Star Wars and such. Zero's here.
Everything above me hates me today.
Oh. Okay.
I don't hate you.
Everything above me. We'll go into that later.
And Patient is here.
Hello, everyone.
Yay. So, okay, who wants to go first? I have things to talk about, but Zero also wants to talk about Star Wars. Has anyone else seen the Star Wars?
Yes.
Okay, here's my suggestion then. We do what we did with the Thors. We do the spoilers at the end, and you can have your discussion. And I won't care, because I don't care about Star Wars, so I can just keep recording it.
I mean, I didn't either, but yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, I was just thinking of doing a spoiler-free impressions thing, but sure, we'll do the full
you can
one
do both.
later. Yeah.
No harm in doing both. So, I guess, Zero, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I did see The Last Jedi. The general impression is it's pretty okay. I liked a lot of parts in it. There are some parts that you can, at least for me, you can feel the writer forcing characters in one way or the other. And a lot happens in that movie, and I feel like it has some pacing problems because of things like this, the way it's set up and everything. Still very enjoyable, but there's like two characters that kind of get character arcs that are shafted and rushed, and just a lot of small moments that kind of took me out of it because I was like, that doesn't feel like something naturally the character would do.
How's the ham lamb?
Fantastic. Everything about Hamlin, everything about Luke Skywalker is amazing. So that's all handled really well.
Cool.
It's just some of the new characters they introduced in this are not so great.
No Jar Jars, I presume.
No Jar Jars, but more like really rushed character arcs.
Okay.
So we can go more into detail into that later.
Yeah.
But I also saw on Friday The Disaster Artist.
Oh yeah,
That's the
that was the film by the guy who starred in The Room.
So Greg Sesteros, he wrote The Disaster Artist, which was kind of the story behind what went into the making of The Room. And James Franco decided to make a movie based off that. And it's a really good movie. It's just, I was laughing. The whole theater was laughing for most of it.
It sounds like it would kind of be like that Ed Wood film that I think Tim Burton made. I think that's who made that. I don't know.
What, Edward Scissorhands?
No, Ed
No,
Wood.
dude, Ed Wood.
Yeah,
Ed
he was
Wood,
a terrible
okay.
director in like the 50s that made terrible, like most of the stuff that you probably saw on MST3K was Ed Wood films.
It's really it's really funny, but there's also like a lot of heart to it, which I like. So I highly recommend you go and see The Disaster Artist because it's just a really solid, great movie. I found, and I have the book, which I still need to finish. Um, let's see. Also, lots of video games, I guess.
Bitch game.
So I'm over 100 hours into Xenoblade 2.
That's a shocker.
My reaction right now is, boy, I don't think I actually really like the main character at all. Very, very shonen main character for a series that has not ever had a shonen main character before. So, uh, combat's still really fun, but I'm not really sure on where I'm going to stand with the game when I finish it.
Is it fun to play?
Yes,
I
it's
know
very
we're
fun to play.
writers, and we tend to harp on that more than anything else, but it's fun to play, right?
Yeah, that's why I put over 100 hours into it. It's really
Fair
fun
play,
to
fair
play. The music's really good. Moving around the world and exploring it's really fun. Yeah, I've been enjoying it gameplay wise a lot. It's just that there's that, and there's also stuff like I feel like they pared down a lot of the menus, and while that does have its benefits, it at the same time the menus aren't quite as streamlined as I would have liked, and yeah, there's lots of improvements that could be made. This game came out surprisingly fast given the long development cycles of the last two games.
Well, they had the engine at this point, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. But you can kind of feel a little bit about it. That yeah, there's also that blade mechanic, which is you use RNG of like an in-game gacha system that uses in-game currency sort of thing. Well, not currency, but more like as items to get a chance of getting a rare blade, which is like a persona. And I really don't like that aspect now because it's just randomness of you getting a good persona essentially, which wasn't in any of the previous games at all because those blades didn't exist because each game's very separated from another.
But Zero, gacha is the way of the future. All games must have loot boxes.
Well, it's not like you have to pay real money, and
It's not.
you can get
It's true.
and you can get a lot of these things. And there are some of these items that will always get you a blade no matter what, that are 100% guaranteed to get you a certain blade, and those help. But the whole gotcha system thing that they implemented is just clumsy, and I don't like it. Moving on, the Game Awards did happen a while back. I don't know if you guys talked about any about it.
No, I don't think we did. I just mentioned the Jim Sterling video of that guy that made the Brothers game
Yeah,
just kind of losing his shit on stage.
screw the Oscars, right?
Yeah, fuck the Oscars. Middle finger to the screen. Yeah, I can swear, right? Fuck the Oscars.
So, lots of announcements at the Game Awards. For example, Bayonetta 3 is going to be a thing.
Whoop whoop.
And Bayonetta 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch.
Whoop whoop.
So, you'll have the full, I guess, trilogy available on Switch, which is nice.
Whoop whoop.
I like the Bayonetta 1 and 2 pack because in Bayonetta 1 you get lots of like Nintendo themed costumes. So you can dress her up as like Samus and you can move the visor up and down during cutscenes. Which is just funny. And there was also that Death Stranding trailer, which was, I'm pretty sure it's the Rapture Death Stranding, Kojima's big game.
I'm quite happy to watch none of that because all I know is Norman Reedus fetus. That's all I know.
Norman Reedus with his throat fetus.
Yeah, that's all I know about that game. And those words, literally, are all I know about that game. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. I'm probably kind of okay not playing that game. based on just that, if that's how they
The
decided
rain
to
is
introduce it.
time. The rain is called Timefall, and the rain makes you age. There's some crazy ideas in this game that I really want to see, like as an actual game, because all we've gotten so far is gameplay. Well, not gameplay, but we've gotten lots of movie trailers, essentially. So I would put it.
This is what happens when Hideo Kojima doesn't have a leash, I guess.
Well, you know, he's got Tarantino with him, and
That's not exactly better.
so
Like, that's
they're
just
going to
two
be.
people that need a leash.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's going to be crazy, and you gotta expect that.
It's like when you have a dog that needs to be watched all the time and you're out walking him. You know what'll be better? Another dog that needs a leash all the time while you're walking him.
Yeah,
That'll
like,
make this easier.
I'm not in any way saying that Kojima was a good... not Kojima. Konami was a good leash. Like, as leashes go, it was probably a fucking choke chain. But still, he needs something.
I just really want to see what the heck he makes at this point, because I'm morbidly curious.
Whatever he wants. He's got his fuck you Metal Gear
No,
on
I
it,
want to
so-
see what Kojima Unchained can do. So maybe it will be good, maybe it will be bad.
I don't know whether
At
that
any
was a
rate-
Tarantino reference, because of...
Yeah,
That was
yeah, I know.
Django, right?
Django Unchained. Yeah, I know.
I think that was intentional, but we'll go with it.
So they announced, oh hey, Zelda DLC is out right now, and I was like, wait, what? So I got to play the new Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC, and I really like it when that game is really mean to me for some reason. I just like the difficulty. So I was really happy when it gives me an item at the beginning that says, you can kill anything in one hit, but if you will die in one hit. And I was like, yay. So you take that, clear out like 4 camps of enemies, complete 4 pretty well-designed and unique shrines that are pretty difficult, and then that item goes away, you get your full health back, and it's like, okay, now do like 12 more shrines and do some difficult boss battles, and then you get to a final dungeon that has an optional unique boss. Well, not optional, but like a unique boss for the DLC that's actually really cool and interesting. And then you get a motorcycle that you can summon anywhere. So, very good DLC. It's worth it, I feel, because these are the best designed shrines and most difficult shrines in the game, and it's the best designed dungeon in the game as well. And I think the reason for that is because in order to actually get to this DLC, you have to have done all the major dungeons already. So now they can actually guarantee that you're skilled enough to play this. Whereas I think one of the major problems I had with Breath of the Wild was because it was meant to be played, you could do anything in. You had a lot of shrines that were not really scaled to be more difficult because they had to assume that it would be like one of your first ones. So, a stupid Zelda Motorbike DLC. You know what?
I was wondering whether you would take the bait.
It is a fun motorcycle. I mean, I've already done everything in the game, so I have nothing else to do with it. But it's fun and it goes really fast, and I can do wheelies and donuts. It's great. I want more stupid stuff in my Zelda. Thank you very much.
Fair enough.
Aside from all of that, I'm done with finals, so I'm free.
Whoop whoop.
And now I gotta get ready for Christmas and get people presents because I still haven't done that for some people.
I had one of them. My orders decided, hey, I don't want to show up, so now you have to find it manually. Great, thanks. Fucking week before Christmas. You assholes.
And also fun event happened, I guess, where my dad drove through my KFC, and he saw my boss sitting outside leaning up against the wall of the KFC smoking. So he got pretty angry with that because you're not supposed to be seen smoking anywhere near KFC if you work there. Oh, he had a whole bunch of problems because my boss has been problematic for like months. He's like, I'm about to get her fired. I'm like, this is nepotism at its finest.
I don't know if it's nepotism. I think he might have done that regardless, considering, you know.
I mean, for example, my boss is late pretty much every morning, so we end up having to put a sign on the front door that says, "Sorry, we don't open until 30 minutes after what our opening time is supposed to be, because my boss isn't here, so we can't sell anything." This has happened continuously. When my boss is late, she always brings somebody with her, so it's 2 people that are late. And so a lot of people have been quitting my store because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Minimum wage jobs, everybody. Woot, woot.
Yeah, if, the managers are just as enthused about being there as you are, so if that's a consolation.
Heard my manager. I also heard my manager did cocaine, and the person said that was pretty definitive about that. So I don't know. Yeah.
Listen, we all don't have KFC in our blood like some people do.
I mean, I do, but that's entirely unrelated. I don't work there or anything. I just eat a lot of it.
Like that's the double stack from like 2 years ago that never left your bloodstream. It's still in there.
Reminder that
still clogging up some arteries.
Reminder that I still have a giant KFC flag hanging in my garage.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You have to fold it up. You keep it in the garage, so if you kept it outside, you have to fold it up every night and every time it rained.
Yeah. So as for what I was saying before, where everything above me hates me, so last night, my dad fell backwards and broke his toilet upstairs.
Awesome.
His room is directly above mine.
Awesome.
It started raining last night in my room.
Yeah.
I woke up and I hear I'm like, is there a leak? Did the roof spring a leak? And I grabbed put a pot underneath it, and it was just dripping water.
Yeah, you got piss water dripping in your room, boy.
Yep. Yeah.
You savor it.
I don't want to. It's stopped now. It stopped a while ago, but it led to an interesting time. And then this morning I had to go and drive my sister to work because she's getting her car painted as her Christmas present for my parents. And a bird crapped on my car as I was driving.
That's the least of your concerns.
I'm pretty sure the raining piss water is a bit more problematic, but I'm taking this as a bad sign for things above me.
What was it? Shit rolls downhill? That's a phrase, right? Yeah.
No, it's not a phrase, but whatever.
We can make it one.
Pretty sure that is a phrase. I'm gonna look that up.
Really?
Yeah, I'm totally looking. Yeah, that's a fucking thing. Fuck you guys.
Fuck you.
Yeah, totally a thing. Urban Dictionary, motherfucker.
I don't think you're each other's types.
You don't know what my type is.
Anyways, yeah, that's about it for me. Been having a lot of fun talking to people in the public Discord we now have.
Yeah.
By the way, check that out in the link below. Everybody's nice there.
God damn it, Zero.
Yeah, you gotta link it or else people won't come and hang out.
Everyone that watches our shit is already there.
Not really. We need more.
Listen, that's not how this works. You gotta promote, alright? That means you gotta go into the movie theaters with flyers.
Kenchi is lecturing me on promoting. When was the last time you plugged the show in your chapters, Kenchi? Hmm?
Oh, I do.
Hmm?
It's not every time because I don't feel like it.
Which is why I asked when was the last time.
I don't
know. Perfect.
This isn't about me.
Oh, that's how that works. Okay, fair enough.
All right, somebody else can go next.
Patient, do you want to go?
Sure. Well, on the note of video games, they're releasing Pokemon Crystal on the Virtual Console.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite games. The part that's particularly noteworthy about that is that apparently, for the first time ever, they're making a legitimate way to obtain Celebi in the game.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Right, wasn't there a thing, like, originally that was going to be an in-store promotion thing, but something fell through?
Yep.
Yeah.
Only in Japan did it work, but it seems like it's going to be worldwide this time.
Yeah.
It pissed me off a whole lot back then.
Pokemon Crystal, I think, is the only Pokemon game I've never played, like, mainline.
It was the only one I did play. My sister got Silver, I got Crystal. Or was it the other way around? I'm a mistake.
You were lucky. You were lucky.
I got Silver and Gold.
I had all of them for reasons.
Crystal had a better, stronger storyline, I would say.
Had a better everything.
Well, except that they took out Mareep.
So yeah, it is a better everything.
They did? I could have sworn I had one. I love that thing.
Yeah, so do I. Sheep are nice.
How do they...
Ampharos is pretty cool.
I'm going to pull up my Game Boy and investigate.
We're talking about Pokemon again. All right, let's do this.
Yes, patient, continue. You are doing things.
All right, well, aside from that, let's see. The week's been going pretty well. I've finished all my Christmas shopping, and I've got quite a few surprises in store for my girlfriend, and a few surprises in store for the rest of my family as well. Just one little downside of that. I'm flat broke now. Yeah. And still working on finding a job. So, things could be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Patient's laughing like me. That's kind of flattering.
All right. But I don't regret it, of course. Well, I regret some of the more frivolous donations that I've given over the past few days, but I don't regret any of the gifts that I've gotten. So, that aside, Crossbrain making a bit more progress with Strong World, and progress with some stories yet to come. Nailing down a few more things for a couple of future SI projects of mine. And resolved a plotline that I was iffy about for a Pokemon SI that I have planned. So, yeah. Let me see. Also another project that the Crossbrain is working on, which is secret presently. So I'll bring it up when it can be no longer secret.
Okay.
Aside from that, honestly, not a whole lot has been going on for me. Just another pleasant week, enjoying time at home, family, cooking some stuff. Probably going to be making a batch of toffee later. It's my mother's recipe, only makes around Christmas time, and it's delicious.
I have a difficult relationship with toffee.
I feel like we've brought this up before, Casey.
A
I don't
quick
know,
aside,
maybe.
something that you just talked about, patient, about your mom's recipe. Like, my mom makes really good meatballs, but she only makes them at Christmas. But she was like, "Oh, I can just give you the recipe," and I was like, "I don't want it," and I don't know why I don't want it because I'm afraid that I'll mess it up. I guess I don't know.
No, it's because it's your mum's recipe, so you want it to be special because it's your mum's and she cooks it for you. And if you can just cook it whenever, then who cares?
Maybe, but then again, I'm normally heartless, so this is strange that this would affect me in some way.
It's
Families
your
like
mother, Kenshi.
Families like that.
I can't have a heart. I'm supposed to be merciless.
Someone do the Grinch poem. I forget what it is. The Kenshi heart three sizes something. God damn it.
Kenshi's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
That's the one. Thank you, Zero. Someone's on the ball.
Sure.
And what happens then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And then he died because his chest couldn't contain that heart.
That's actually the joke from the Ruby Christmas special that they did this week.
Really? That's like the most obvious joke in the world, though.
Yeah.
You guys are weird. Sorry about that, patient.
No worries. None whatsoever.
Okay.
Alright, but...
It's the most ominous Christmas spirit I've ever heard.
I dig it.
Anything else, patient?
But, yeah. Not a whole lot besides that. Well, except for rediscovering the chicken fried rice is very good.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Haven't had it in so long. Proper chicken fried rice.
We haven't had it in a long time either, but my mother and I were looking for recipes for things we could make that were gluten and dairy free for my father's diet, because his diet is working wonders for him. He's already lost almost 50 pounds. Now, if only I could have the same success. Anyway, chicken fried rice came up, just rice, chicken, and mixed vegetables, and it was spectacular.
I need to stop going hungry before we record the podcast. I need to stop doing that.
Would you mind repeating that, Casey?
I said I need to stop going hungry before recording the podcast. I'm a dumbass. Alright. So, is that all, patient? Food is good.
Yeah. Probably going to get myself some bananas and Nutella, maybe a bowl of Rice Krispies. How about some, and I need to go buy some Hershey bars for the toffee as well. So that's what I'll be doing after the podcast ends. Maybe I'll pick up some candy canes or cookie dough while I'm. All right, I'm done.
Classy. All right. What the hell is the video that you just... Okay, I don't want to know. So, I'll go next because everyone comes here for Kenshi, so if I go next, then that means everyone has to listen to the whole show. Ha!
All right.
Beat you, audience.
You say that, but it's true.
Yeah. So... Hey, I'm aware. So... I got introduced to something by our wonderful Discord channel. Several somethings, actually, but let's go with the easy one first, because that's way easier. I have been, tangentially aware of Rocket Jump, who in the past have done like Video Game High School, I think was the thing that they did. It was like 4 seasons long. It was supposedly pretty good.
The anime cop thing.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to be talking about, but I'm not there yet. And they have done some collaborations with Rooster Teeth in the past, so I was kind of aware of them, but never actually bothered to watch their stuff. I kind of want to now, because someone posted in the Discord their new anime show. Kind of. It's not an anime, but it's about anime. So it's an anime show. It's hard to... Terminology is difficult. So yeah, it's a crime procedural set in a city obsessed with anime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of great.
The main character is played by ProZD, and he's just fantastic. It's a really good show.
It's a pretty good show. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it all a while back. I didn't even think to like share it with you, but yeah, that's just a really fun show. Yeah. Only like 3 episodes long.
Yeah, so that's pretty good, and I'm going to have to put that in the link though, because I need to do the thing. I don't even remember what the name of it is. God damn it! Rocket Jump anime shows, probably Anime Crimes Division. That was it. Yeah. So that's a pretty good thing. A lot of the jokes are a little bit obvious. It's just well, for the first episode, I haven't watched the other 2, I guess. It does the subs and dubs thing. It does a lot of stuff like that. For some reason, it went for a Dirty Harry reference, and that, like, not going for an anime reference for that, just classic Western films. It's a little odd.
I believe the next episode is about a legendary Yu-Gi-Oh card.
That being said, I would love an anime of Dirty Harry. That sounds amazing. Anyway, so the other thing that this wonderful Discord pointed me to was Kizuna A.I, and I hate this thing because I love this thing.
Yeah,
it's a complicated relationship.
Yeah.
Kizuna A.I is a Japanese YouTube channel, of course, where it's all centered around a character called basically Kizuna, who is an AI, quote unquote. That's her kayfabe. So that you have like a virtual figure that moves with her voice as she has commentaries, does things, and also has a Let's Play channel.
It's awesome.
Zero, I'm gonna stop you. Stop saying kayfabe. You and I are the only ones who know what that means.
I can't really think of any other way to say it because it's not really an AI, but that's
Persona.
kind of. There we go.
Duh. So.
I'm sorry. I'm so. I can't be in 2 holes at once.
That's what she said.
It's not true.
Incorrectly, I might add.
Yeah.
I hate that actually made a little bit of sense, but not enough for me to... Okay. So, yeah, that thing is joy. Pure processed joy, and I love it.
It makes me feel happy.
Adorable. And it swears a lot when it plays Resident Evil, apparently. It swears like a 4-year-old that just heard its parents curse for the first time and is just super proud that it learned a new word.
Kizuna A.I is what you watch when you're having a down day.
Yeah. I watched it try and draw Pokemon, and it was adorable. Then I watched it play Pokemon Snap because that was the next recommended video, and that's still adorable. I love it so much. I don't know why.
Clearly, you needed some joy in your life.
Like, if that was just, like, a Western person trying this and doing it in English, this wouldn't work. Right?
Yeah.
Because a Western person doing this would be doing it in baby voice and such, right? Like, that's...
Well, it's one of your anime girls.
I don't know, it's weird. Like, it might just be a cultural thing. Like, the Japanese are really into the cutesy stuff, right? So
they've mastered it.
They've had a long time to get really good at it, whereas the West don't really give a shit. And are actually generally kind of annoyed by it. So when something comes along that's really good at it, it works. Yeah. But yeah, that thing's great, and I'm probably going to watch all of it, and then all of it again. Because it's adorable. Yeah. So, other thing I've been watching for the past couple of days is I looked up TFS plays again because I haven't watched any of their stuff in a while because it was all crap I didn't care about, frankly.
Yeah.
And they went back to Xenoverse 2 because of the new Figure Battle game DLC with microtransactions. Yay! And they basically turned it into a Nuzlocke for that mode. It's pretty great. And it actually makes the game look appealing for that mode. Except there's a weird thing about it. Like, the way they've designed the story mode for that, DLC microtransaction engine, it's almost like the developers were like, we really don't want to put microtransactions in this game, but the publishers are forcing us to, so here's a satire of the entire concept of microtransactions and having all of the characters act out the shady marketing plans, and even having a moment where all of Canton City is like, oh, look at this figure battle thing, it's super great, and it has a upward shot of Bulma and the player character looking down on the city like villains in their ivory tower as all of the people get hooked into their web of lies and schemes. It's really weird. Like, it's kind of great that the satirizing it loses points because they, still have to actually do the microtransaction thing. But it's pretty great.
Yeah.
And Piccolo giving marketing advice for how to sell the thing better. Okay. So, I don't know how to feel about Xenoverse anymore.
Marketing.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least Fighters is coming out.
Yeah, it's a game that exists, and I probably won't play because it's a 2D fighting game, and I suck at those.
I actually really like 2D fighting games.
I can't say whether I like them or not because I'm shit at them. I'm trying to think whether I did anything else. We streamed last week and did some Shantae, and that was a thing. I don't think there's anything else from me, to be honest. Yeah. Ken, your turn.
Okay. All right. Well,
ENCHI.
Yeah, that's how you spell my name. Let's see. It's been a while, so let's see if I can remember the things that happened to me over the last 2 weeks. First, I'll start with the most obvious. I had that wrestling show 2 weeks ago. That was a thing.
How'd it go?
That was fun. I did not get paid because it was kind of a charity thing.
Oh.
So pretty much all the proceeds went to Children's Hospital. So that was nice. Um,
Oh, was it
let's
like an
see.
extra life thing? I didn't know wrestling actually went for that sort of stuff.
Meh. Sometimes. It really depends on who's promoting the show or who runs the promotion. Yeah.
Fair play.
Sometimes you get some philanthropic people. So yeah, I had a tag match on the show. Wasn't really anything to write home about. Just normal standard run of the mill 10-minute thing. Nothing really too nuts happened. I did not wrestle luchadors.
Oh.
So yeah, they tend to wrestle each other because their English ain't the best and my Spanish ain't the best. So
yeah, miscommunications would probably go poorly in that circumstance.
don't really want anyone to like call like a suicide dive to the outside and not know what they were saying or something along those lines. Not really the best idea. So yeah, that show was sweet. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, picked up drawing again because I need to.
No.
Yeah, I need to draw my own stuff. So gonna try and get my feet wet once more in that world. It's been a long time.
I suck at drawing.
I figured as much. Also, I don't have money to spend on an artist right now. So do it myself for the time being.
I just use Photoshop for everything. That's how I make things.
It's not going to work for this. You got to put in the real work. Like a champion. And
Yeah.
maybe one day I'll be rich. But I doubt it.
You can do it. I believe in you.
No, you don't. Wonder how I know you don't? Because I don't. Which is telling. Because I always believe in myself.
Yeah, I was literally going to say, it doesn't matter whether Zero believes in you because you believe in you. All the time. In fact, it's kind of annoying you won't shut up about it, but you do. I guess not in this case.
Most of the time I'm right, so my success to failure ratio is extremely one-sided on the positive side. So it's not like I don't have reason. But enough about me. Let's talk about me. So
that's a great transition.
Similar to Zero, what he said earlier.
Something.
It's a quote from lots of things. It's not really one thing specific. So on Saturday, I went to see Star Wars because I'm not stupid enough to go watch it on the first night. There's no reason to. Everyone.
Yeah, I didn't see it on the first night either.
Not a fan of the fanboy thing?
On the first night, I saw Disaster Artist, and boy, was it nice to not have to get in that huge line.
Granted. Ken?
Oh, sorry, everything went so quiet for a second. So yeah, I didn't go my first night. My coworker did, and she was really excited about it, and I was like, I don't care about this movie. But she was like, wait, you're going to watch it Saturday, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, I don't care about this movie at all. And to illustrate how much I didn't care about this movie, the only reason I went is because it was at the movie theater that I talked about before that's also a bar and grill.
Oh, yeah.
So my plan was to get wildly drunk during this movie, as I did for Jurassic World.
Oh, you asshole.
But I did not take into account that I would wind up getting wildly drunk before the movie.
You asshole.
Why?
Go ahead.
Why am I an asshole? No. We'll get to that.
Getting drunk before the movie means you're gonna be the asshole that's just shouting at the screen all the time.
I don't do that.
Shut up.
I definitely don't do that. I didn't do that.
You sure? You were drunk?
Yes. 100% sure. If I
What do you
had done
remember
that,
of the movie?
Everything.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
I remember everything. It's just that being drunk gives me grounded, well-founded, deeper opinions that are not as wishy-washy. That's what being drunk does for me. It makes me take a stance and keep it.
Okay. That's weird.
I had a screwdriver and a trash can and a shot of vodka and a beer, and my friend snuck like some alcohol. I don't know what it was with a flask, so I had that in my soda. Yeah.
2 of those things sound nice.
Which ones?
Screwdriver and the vodka.
Fair enough. I don't really like trash cans either, but that's what
I don't know what a trash can is, but it's called a trash can. I don't have high hopes.
It's not bad. So, yeah, I did that. And yeah, the movie was fine. Like, I wasn't excited about it at all, so it wasn't waited.
Sorry, what, Ken? You gonna have to
it wasn't. It's not like it's not like I'm a super fan of Star Wars or anything. It's just a film series to me that I'm not really that into. So it's not like I went in there with inflated expectations. It was serviceable for the most part as a blockbuster movie, but it's not a life-changing experience like everyone tries to act like it is. It's a movie. Shut up.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I do think hardcore Star Wars fans. I know a lot of fans have not liked the movie, and if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, I can see why.
Well, let's see. What else have I done that could make Casey angry for the act of doing it? I don't know. Oh yeah, I had to fix my car. That was
you
fun.
bastard!
What? Oh, you're being facetious. Okay. Yeah. So for the entire winter, there's been no heat in my car, and it's getting to the point where I can't have that be a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
So yeah. Also, one of my windows is always cracked, which is also a problem in the winter time. That hasn't been fixed yet, but the heat has been. And it came at the price that I no longer have climate control. So I have heat, but I will not have AC in the summer until I fix that.
That's 6 months from now, Kenji's problem.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. The same thing happened with the heat and the AC 6 months ago, and I did the same thing, but in reverse. And that was 6 months later, Kenji's problem, which is now present day Kenji's problem. So the moral of the story is I need to fix this shit before 6 months elapses, or it's just going to repeat. 6 month Kenji is going to keep passing the buck to 6 month away Kenji. And the two can never fight to settle their differences.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part for you, isn't it?
And the worst part is I can't tell which Kenshi would win. The one from 6 months before, or the one from 6 months. Because one has advantages over the other, but the other also has disadvantages over the other.
Battle of the Kenshis.
Yeah. Like Winter Kenshi is all, he's all tight and locked up from it being cold outside all the time, while Summer Kenshi's all loose and athletic and springy because it's warm and, healthy outside.
6 months ago, Kenshi is like younger and more spry, but future Kenshi is like more experienced or something. I don't fucking...
Yeah, 6 months later, Kenshi is like he'll fight more like an old man, dirtier, less athletic. He wants to win more because he's older
and needs to win.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let my younger self beat me. Poke his eyes out.
These are the things I think about sometimes.
I never would have guessed. Anything else, Kenshi?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah? Okay. Impatient, do you care about spoilers for Star Wars? Because that's pretty much where this is going. After recommendations, I forgot about doing that. And the Patreon thing. We need to talk about the Patreon thing.
Oh, yeah.
in the stream, and I think in the chat we went over it a little bit, and I've mentioned it on Twitter. So Patreon did their stupid shit, giving people basically no notice of a massive sweeping change to their payment structure, and then saying, hey, don't worry, everyone we asked loved it. No one's come forward saying they were asked about this change, by the way. And it was stupid, and everyone pointed out how stupid it was. And Patreon were like, we'll get back to you. So, radio silence from them for like a week, while everyone is hemorrhaging patrons.
Yeah.
And then eventually they decide to come out of their hole and say, yeah, okay, we screwed up. Sorry. And in fairness, it was about the best apology they could actually do, and it seemed sincere.
It's hard to tell.
Here's the problem. Because they decided to do this with no notice and made massive sweeping changes that affect everyone from creators to patrons to Patreon itself to the banks, and didn't tell anyone, or at least definitely not the creators and patrons, they've lost a lot of trust, as they should. So even if this apology seems sincere, it seems sincere, and that's kind of the problem.
Yeah.
Because we can't just take them at their word anymore.
When I first heard about this, it didn't really hit me what was going on.
Yeah, same. They phrased it in a way that made me completely oblivious to what they were actually doing, and thankfully a lot of other people cottoned on pretty quickly. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Troper in our Discord linked the explanation of what was going on.
Yeah, that was just the basic one, I think, which was the one that Patreon gave. And I was like, it's fine. I got an email about that. Yeah, whatever. It's probably not important. Which, in fairness, a lot of Patreon's emails generally aren't important. And then I saw Seamus Young do a write-up on it. And he is a great person to follow, just for all sorts of stuff. Including this, apparently.
Yeah.
And it broke down how nonsensical the changes were, how it benefited basically no one, except the banks, and even then only theoretically, assuming that all of the patrons decided to stay. They didn't, by the way, like I say.
Mm.
People were fleeing in droves from this whole situation. So at the time of the radio silence, my opinion was I didn't want to do this. Like, this was not a thing I was okay with. Them doing this sweeping change, costing people more money that they would be forced to pay, possibly without even noticing, because they didn't really get the message out very well. Again, thankfully other people did. So I brought it up and basically got everyone's opinion, and they said, yeah, let's just put it on pause, was the consensus, I think. So that was the plan. If they're going to do something like this, then we'll just back away, we'll stop the donations, and you won't have to deal with it. You won't even have to worry about being charged for it. It won't happen for us. And we'll see how it turns out. And that's pretty much our policy going forward for this. So, if Patreon decide to do something like this again, which would not surprise me at this point, again, lost a lot of trust, then we'll just stop the donations and suspend the account until we figure out what we're actually going to do about it.
Yeah, we should look into other options.
Yeah.
Just have like a possible backup.
Yeah, I mean, Drip is starting next year. I imagine it will be quite successful with people wanting to flee Patreon. Also, people not wanting to have to say Patreon anymore, because that's a stupid word. Yeah, and there's always the old faithful PayPal still exists. There's other ones that are less well known, like Flatter and things like that. So there are other options if Patreon decide to be particularly egregious to the point where we just don't want to deal with them anymore. For the time being, we're going to stick with it and see how it goes. So nothing changed. If you want to donate to us, you will just donate the amount you want to donate, no more. Same as it's always been, for the time being. And we will make sure to let everyone know if something changes in that circumstance. Does that cover everything, Zero?
Yeah, I think that's about it in terms of what went down with that.
Yeah. Right before Christmas, too. Like, of all times. Yeah. Alright. So, speaking of Patreon, I don't think we actually did the thing this month yet, because first week of December it hadn't gone through yet, and the second week of December was the week we took off. Because of reasons, so I'll do that now. Typed in my password wrong because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you are.
Shut up, Kenji.
No. Won't you make me shut up?
Oh, right. Patreon decided to force me to change my password for no reason. Thanks, Patreon.
I almost freaked out because when I said make me shut up, you could actually make me shut up.
Oh, right, yeah, I can. I totally can do that. That's absolutely true. All right.
I almost forgot you could.
So, patrons! Yay, everybody that donated. And I absolutely understand if you decided to, bin it off after the whole kerfuffle. That's perfectly fine. If you want to come back, great. If you don't, I don't blame you again.
Yeah.
So, from the bottom, Crossbrain donated $10. Thank you, Crossbrain. Patient.
Thank you, Crossbrain. Patient and company.
My pleasure, as always.
Hornet and Spoken and Weasel and Lucan, I assume, are all still there. Max Duel. I still have to pay attention to what their usernames are and whether I know them. Donated $1. Thank you, Max Duel. Yay.
Thank you.
Bomber BCM donated $1. Thank you, Bomber. You're cool.
Thank you.
I love you, Bomber. I like Bomber. He was cool that episode he was on.
Yeah. Agreed.
He's in the Discord, too.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, also, Kenshi, someone was asking you something in the Discord. I just wanted to point out.
I'll go check it.
Yeah, I think it was about wrestling or something. Troper donated $5. Thank you, Troper. Woo, Troper.
Yeah.
He gives me stuff in the Sky Factory server. Cool dude. Tuxedo Ninja donated $20. Yay, Tuxedo Ninja. That's actually a lot of money, and I was confused because I don't recognize the name that well.
No,
but cool.
That's the tier for getting a spot on the podcast to guest star. Right? So, get in contact with us, Yeah.
Ethan F. donated $10. Thank you, Ethan F. Cool. You set up a server for the Sky Factory thing for us, so we'll probably be able to stream and stuff on that when I can actually work up the motivation to do so. Hoofjoy donated $20. Thank you, Hoofjoy. Yay, Hoofjoy. Woo. Yeah. That's everybody.
Yay.
Kenshi is responding to somebody.
Yeah.
Emphatically.
I mean, I'm not really, but it just sounds because my mic picked everything. So.
Yeah.
I'll mute myself until you need me.
That's okay. So recommendations. Yeah, we absolutely don't need Ken for the next section, so that's fine.
I have one, so shut up.
Okay. Fine. What's your recommendation?
Oh, fine. You're going to go be first? All right, cool. So.
You volunteered.
I did, technically. I'm aware that no one on this podcast, other than me, really knows anything about wrestling except for maybe Zero. But this might help. So, you know what we do with Flux tracks?
Yes.
This is kind of a streamlined version of that. Only actually see parts of the wrestling shows. They're really old shows, but these dudes like do reviews of the shows and critique them as they see, and it's really interesting. So it's called OSW Review, Old School Wrestling Podcast, and they have an actual website and a YouTube channel, and they've done stuff from like 1980s WWF, early 90s WWF. Let's see. Late 90s WWF, they did a few. Let's see. It's just all over the board what they do. They pick certain chunks of time, like over the span of 5 shows to do.
You cut out there a second, Kenshu.
They pick a span of time, like 4 shows, and they'll just...
You cut out there, son.
Damn it! They pick 4 or 5 shows over the course. They call it story arc. Really?
4 or 5 shows over the course of...
You cut out there for a second.
They do story.
You're cutting out.
Is this actually happening?
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's connection or what.
Try again.
Just watch it. If you are interested to get in any way, shape, or form that may seem interesting to you, watching a bunch of people take the piss out of it for 2 hours might be a good way to do it.
Okay. Thank you, Kenshi.
That's why I don't do recommendations.
Yeah, apparently Discord really doesn't want you to do them. Anyone else got any recommendations? Because I actually need to look up one now. Because I probably have one, but I haven't actually... Okay, someone just... I think Kenshi's reconnecting to do the thing.
It's not funny, patient.
Then why am I laughing?
Because...
I don't have any recommendations today. I'm going to be working
Nor do
my way
I,
through some...
unfortunately.
I'm going to be working my way through some of the recommendations. People are just Discord dropped because I'm now free from school. So
working on it. I also have that thing from Space Battles that someone recommended in a tab that I'm going to be reading at some point. But for the time being, okay, what was this one? No, I wouldn't recommend that for the time being. Let's see if anything from Space Battles comes up, because I read some stuff on Space Battles. Okay. Watch threads. Here we go. Someone's typing furiously. So, my recommendation is Code Geass, The March of Time by, what's his name? Chartreuse 32. That's a name. So this is Peggy Sufik, time travel, Code Geass. It is more faithful to the concept of time travel and the butterfly effect than most time travel stories. It goes into exacting detail into how things Lelouch does differently cause different effects on events. So, early on, instead of Gottwald being caught in the whole orange incident, it's Kuehl, which means Kuehl is dishonored and executed for his seeming treason, and Gottwald brings the Purist faction back to prominence, which causes a variety of different problems, which is basically what the main thrust of the fic seems to be, is just Yes, he's doing things differently and better, but it's causing an entirely different set of unforeseen problems, which is how you probably should handle a Peggy Sue fic. So that you still have conflict in it. So
Yeah. It's always, like, if you remove all conflict, then it just stops being a story.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my recommendation. It's pretty good. Like I say, it goes into exacting detail, and sometimes it gets a bit overzealous with the exposition and explaining things that really don't need to be explained.
That's something you see in a lot of younger writers, though, myself included.
I don't know how experienced a writer they are, so I can't really speak to that. But yeah, there is. I think someone in the thread said about 100,000 words dedicated to an event where basically nothing happens. Like, a thing almost happens, but then is stopped by a character acting entirely in a way that they have been portrayed to be expected to act. So nothing particularly new is learned there either. So great. But it's all very well written and engaging. I just wish it would maybe pick up the pace a little bit, but that's about the only downside. Yeah, so that's my recommendation.
All right.
So, I hear some people want to talk about the Star War. Patient, do you care about the Star War and or any spoilers?
No, not particularly. And if that's all we have for the rest of the podcast, I believe I'll be bowing out for now. I'll see you all tomorrow.
All right, man.
Bye, Patient.
Take care. And Casey, get something to eat.
I have to record another show after this.
Okay. You have to record it immediately. We're not on a time schedule here.
We do have to record it immediately. It's my bum's birthday, and I've got to go around as soon as I can.
Okay, then we do have to. Okay.
Let's get to this.
So, Star Wars. Yeah, a lot of things happen in this movie. One could say too many things happen in this movie.
Which is weird for a 2-hour movie. But
yeah.
Spoilers,
so the whole
by
premise.
the way. Spoilers for the rest of the film.
Spoilers for the rest of the film, starting now. So the whole premise of the film at first is they're trying to escape from the Empire because or the New Order, whatever, First Order, something. Because they can apparently now track them through light speed, which is a bit ridiculous. And they're like, "Oh well, you know, we're kind of screwed." And meanwhile, you have Rey, who's like, "Hey, teach me how to do the Force." And Luke's like, "No."
Teach me how to Dougie.
And it's like she hands the lightsaber to Luke, like at the end of the last movie. He looks at it, just throws it behind him, and just walks away. Which is a nice moment.
Fantasy doesn't really need it at this point.
He's done being Jedi and teaching Jedi and all this crap. Snoke died. I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, that's basically how it happened. So,
in this movie, yeah, Snoke dies.
He pulled a Dooku. He just dies.
Yeah. Kylo Ren, like, Snoke is like, he gets shown a few times. He's using the Force, not even moving, and he's super powerful. And then, you know, Kylo Ren's all lined up to kill Rey. Because for some reason, Rey decided to go straight to Snoke's ship to try to turn Kylo by herself. Which was kind of really dumb. Yeah. And stupid. And they have this whole thing where they have this, like, psychic bond for, like, the whole movie. Where they keep communicating and she's learning about Kylo's past. And basically, Luke was like, yeah, so I looked inside his mind and I saw that he was super evil. So for a second, I was going to kill him. And I turned on my lightsaber and it was like, no, that's stupid. That's really messed up. I'm going to turn it off. And then I looked and he woke up. Whoops.
And that's how you create supervillains, ladies and gentlemen.
So, Kylo grabs his lightsaber. They clash. Then he brings down the roof on Luke, but Luke somehow survives because he's awesome. And Kylo takes his friends, and they just kill everybody. And that's how that happened. And it's kind of revealed in an interesting way, where you get Luke's side, then you get Kylo's side, and they get the truth. Of it's like, yeah, from Kylo's perspective, Luke was about to kill him in his sleep, which is really screwed up. So yeah, eventually Rey's like, yeah, no, he can be saved. So she goes to the ship, and they have he takes her in, and they go up to Snoke, and Snoke's just throwing around like a rag doll with the Force. And he takes her lightsaber, and she tries to force and grab her lightsaber, and then he moves the lightsaber around and hits her in the head with it, and I'm to him, he's like, no. And then Kylo just kind of turns the lightsaber with the Force secretly while he has his lightsaber aimed at Rey, and then turns it on and slices Snoke in half.
Yeah.
And then Snoke dies.
Now, I assume that this time for this series of movies, they're doing a build to making the villain a big bad villain. They're letting you see how the, so to speak, I guess.
They're building up Kylo. They're like, we're not doing the Emperor thing again. No. Meanwhile, there's a whole bunch of other subplot stuff going on. Where to try to get away, Finn and this new character Rose try to go find the master code breaker, so he can break the code, so they can kind of screw with the tracker thing on Snoke's ship, so that they can escape. Meanwhile, Poe is trying to. Oh yeah. Also forgot, Leia gets sent into space, but then no, she somehow can use the Force now in space. And how did you feel about that scene, Kenshi?
It was cool. I was confused.
Yeah.
And then I was more confused when I was like, okay, what are they supposed to do with Leia now?
Yeah, I know. She's floating in space, and you can see her. She's freezing over, and then like her hand twitches, and suddenly Force is pulling her back into the ship, and then all of a sudden she's no longer even frozen, and then she gets taken into like a med bay.
I mean, it was a swerve for the sake of a swerve, and they did it twice in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I say you can writers you swerve when it feels like it's a swerve for the sake of a swerve.
Because logical booking dictates, hey, we don't have Carrie Fisher anymore, Paul Walker here, and kind of write her out.
So she kind of died in a med bay after that.
So now what you go and do?
No, she didn't die.
No.
She came back.
Yeah, complications after the fact. Don't know what happened.
She's in the whole movie.
I'm just saying I expect a lazy rewrite. And it's just
Yeah. So, yeah. By the way, Rose and Finn go look for the Master Codebreaker, and they don't find him, but they do find the scumbag in the cells on this casino planet. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And I'm like, "Okay." And eventually they team up with that guy and they head back. But as it turns out, the Codebreaker
he's not a charmer.
Yeah.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah. And the Codebreaker thing didn't turn out to be necessary at all because everybody on the ship had a plan. And Poe's on the ship. He's like, we gotta do something. We gotta wait for their plan. And like, no, they can't track smaller vessels, so we'll just send them off ship to the planet that we're just passing by right now, which also has a base, which is heavily fortified. We all had this sorted out. And And then the Empire finds out about that plan because, well, you know, Finn and Rose are getting onto the ship. Weird scumbag guy betrays him. Who didn't see that coming? They get caught and he betrays them and sells out all the information that he got because he was on the ship and listening to the broadcast that came in about their actual plan. Yeah.
I'm just going to point out, this is a whole thing for people that have already seen the film Zero. You're going a little bit more synopsis than review.
I know. I'm just trying to like. What I'm trying to get to is
A lot of shit happened.
there's a lot of stuff that happens, and a lot of it's kind of stupid. And I want to kind of preface what exactly I mean by that, because we don't get much for Rose. Rose gets a romance thing with Finn, as in she kisses him out of nowhere at one point later on, after nearly dying trying to save him. And that was really out of nowhere. The Vice Admiral who takes control after Leia goes down, she has a very rushed character. Oh, no, wait, she's a jerk, but she's actually a good person. And all the Luke stuff is great. Luke will not be returning in any other movies. He pulls an Obi-Wan.
Didn't they do that with Han Solo?
Well, no, he doesn't die in terms of, like, in battle, but he turns into robes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Turns into robes.
He'll probably be back.
Enchanted item. He can just, like, you can equip him and it's like a sentient robe. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Force powers are, like, all over the place here. He can send a hallucination ghost version of himself. Astral projection of himself all the way across the galaxy.
Actually, it's called force projection because it's not astral. It's the force.
He does that, and
Thanks, Dad.
It's actually a name for it. I'm sorry. Jeez.
yeah, and then, you know, he distracts Kylo Ren while everybody else gets away because Kylo Ren is really mad, and his plan is shoot everything I don't like because he takes control after Snoke dies, of course.
So basically, he's Adam Taurus kind of thing. To make a commitment that people won't get.
Yeah, so like when Luke, there's some really good lines in here. Like Luke's, like Kylo Ren's like, it's all over, you know, I've won, and he says this whole thing, and then Luke's like, everything you just said is wrong, and there's lots of good dialogue in here, especially with Luke. But there's some, like I said, rush character arcs, and there's some stupid decisions characters make in this movie. And parts where it's like, when Snoke dies, Kylo doesn't really have much of a reaction. She's like, oh yeah, he's dead now, let's go. Which I felt was very against his character.
Should be more gloating, is what you're expecting?
Or him to say something. Because this person in the movie is putting down and berating Kylo for like the entirety of the movie until this point. And so you would expect some reaction, but it felt like the writer was interfering to just kind of move on, I guess.
We have like 20 more plot points to get to. Come on, let's pick up the pace. Ooh.
Yeah. And I feel like there's just so much stuff that happens, and a lot of it just feels really rushed, and I feel like it could have benefited from being like a half hour shorter. If that makes sense. Because the whole premise of they're in a chase for like more than half of the movie is extremely limiting. Because you have to have people get off the ship to go places, and you go to that casino planet, which accomplishes nothing. literally nothing is accomplished there, and literally nothing is accomplished
Wait, is it not
at all. I can't remember the name. Oh, Phasma. They fight her. That you get that. She falls into a fiery pit, so she's probably not dead.
Yeah, you don't need to tell them the whole rigmarole.
Yeah, it's there's stuff that happens that's really not necessary in this movie, and that just makes the movie feel cluttered, I guess. What are your thoughts, Kenji?
I mean, this whole plot device of, hey, we're running from them, and we only have... How long do they have? They didn't have long. All this took place in a very small period of time.
It's like, oh yeah, we have like maybe a day's... Now we have 6 hours worth of fuel.
Yeah, all this took place in like a day or so. A few days at most. Worth of time. So
I think 2 days. That's how long it takes.
They could have done that a different way. Give them more time to make everything not seem as rushed. Because everything moved so fast. Just everything. And there wasn't really anything worth digesting. It was, heavy.
So, this whole thing takes place in the space of a couple days.
Yes.
How long does the first film take? Like the 7th film take?
They go through a lot, actually. I think it's like several days at least.
So, this isn't so much Star Wars as Star Battle. Star Bump in the Road.
Basically.
Like, I'm just saying it doesn't really have the grand epic feel if it's only taking a couple of days for the entire plot to go through. That's all I'm saying.
The only event that takes place through this entire thing is all this is.
You cut out there. The only event that takes place during all this is
an evacuation.
Yeah,
that's what this is. That's basically it.
It's just run away. That's the entire movie, and it's disappointing in that regard because of the premise. I get why people would say this is their favorite movie because a lot of really good parts in it. Like Yoda shows up.
Force Ghost.
Yeah, Force Ghost, which is really cool, and he has some really great dialogue.
Force Ghost, coast to coast.
But
I made that joke already. You're stealing my jokes.
I didn't know you made that joke.
But at the same time, I can see why people not like it or. I was just kind of like I'd give it like an 8. Personally, I guess it was good.
It's high marks for a lot of the bad things you had to say about this film.
Yeah, because like I don't want to go into everything that's really great because I'd just be constantly praising the good things that it does. Because again, the Luke stuff is really good.
It's like I said earlier, it's perfectly fine for a blockbuster experience the way most Star Wars fans would make you want to believe it is. Because
they are.
It's
a fine film.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's not the best film ever made.
In fairness, neither is Empire Strikes Back. So
yeah, but people think it is. So yeah, it's a good movie. It just has some serious problems that are holding it back from being, great.
Cool. Anything else to say?
No.
No. They do a lot to imply that anybody can be a Jedi. Now you can be a Jedi.
So midichlorians and also every single bit of established Star Wars lore.
Yeah, that's why fans are going to be mad. There's a kid, little slave kid, who's like just walking casually, forces over a broom.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's just that's how the movie ends with this kid staring up, and it's like, there's a new hope. Everybody's Jedi will always keep appearing. You have this power inside you. Yeah.
Well, that's not quite the same thing as what you said. That's like, yeah, anyone can have a high midichlorian count. God, midichlorians. But yeah, anyone can be a Force user. It's not really genetic. It's just a predisposition towards it.
Yeah, because they make a point of establishing, yeah, Ray, your parents, you know what the deal with your parents is. They're nobody important. They were just people who sold you for drug money. Like,
Sorry.
That's
yeah,
sad.
yeah. It's like you don't come from anything special. But me, Kylo Ren, I come from Luke Skywalker and that bloodline, and
And it's not a problem at all that he tried to murder me when I was a child.
no, it's more like he's got the blood, he's got the genetics. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think we're done.
Okay. Also, let me know whether you want me to just shut up next time when I don't actually have anything valid to add, rather than just being quiet in the background. Hey, what's going on? I don't know whether that was annoying, so audience, let me know. So, I guess that's the end of the podcast. Anything? I don't think we have anything else to add.
No, we've been going
No.
for like 90 minutes.
Okay. All right. So, thanks for everybody listening to Fandom Flux Podcast episode 479. 203. That's the one. If you want to get in contact with us, do so through the YouTube channel, the comments. Please don't know on Patreon if you feel so inclined. Once again, that whole kerfuffle with Patreon is over for the time being, so we'd appreciate it. Once again, I'd like to thank you for 203.
Nah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.